Please rewind this cassette.
Yeah, I really don't want to do this, like at all. I've watched this video a few times at this point, but I guess I'll doing a reaction to it, even though I've criticized reaction videos in the past. So here's the thing, Gal Gadot, whatever the fuck it is, decided to do a nice thing for all of us, while the coronavirus is going around killing everyone, is that they're going to join together to sing the song by John Lennon, Imagine, and then a bunch of her celebrity friends sent her videos of them singing it, and they put the song together. This backfired horribly. They sent it out to be like a positive message, and then it just turned into a bunch of people shitting on her and everyone involved with it and making fun of it for obvious reasons, because nobody in this can sing except for like two people. A couple things here real quick. Imagine makes no sense being used this way. I don't know how this is supposed to fight a virus. Imagine peace and all that. They talk about no possessions. Everyone's pointed out all of these people live in mansions filled with possessions, and I'm pro possessions and mansions. So, just that look on her face, that smile, Jesus Christ. Uh, let's listen to this a little bit. This is fucking insane. You know, it just feels like none of them got attention for like the last few weeks, so they don't know what to do. You know, so they're like, shit, I have to be relevant, I have to be popular, because obviously it's the burden of the celebrity to bear our pain, like Charles Xavier for the X-Men, and give us hope and joy during these times of crisis. And we're all at home. It's like, you know what, I'm at home, I have all this stuff to watch on Netflix and Hulu, I have my Xbox, I have my PC, but no, it's this is what I want to be doing with my free time. I want to watch you guys sing Imagine. This is just going to make me feel so much better. I don't even know why she posted this. This is one of those things when you're putting it together, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post this. But she's like one of those people that people probably don't say no to. So nobody said to her, like, this is fucking awful, we shouldn't put this on the internet. But here it is. This is a bunch of celebs singing Imagine.
Day 6 in self-quarantine. And I gotta say that these past few days got me feeling a bit philosophical.
Got me feeling a bit philosophical. I'm sure you've been in deep thought. I'm sure you've been reading, you know, Alan Watts and Nietzsche and just everything like that. You've been going through your copy of the Symposium, trying to find the answer to everything while your impending doom is coming upon you.
You know, this virus had affected the entire world. Everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, we're all in this together.
I think it matters a little bit who you are and where you're from. Like, I'm pretty sure where you're at's a lot better than where I'm at. I live in a shitty apartment in Ohio. You live in a mansion with like unlimited supplies. Like, I don't really see you getting sick unless you just can't fight the temptation to go outside. Like, you could just stay quarantined in your house.
And I ran into this video of this Italian guy playing the trumpet in his balcony to all the other people who were locked inside their homes. And he was playing Imagine, and there was something so powerful and pure.
So here's what you do. You take that video that you're talking about, that you're getting philosophical on, and you post that video right now to share with people and say, hey, this is really nice that this guy did this. Instead of you thinking this is the incentive to sing the song.
About this video. And it goes like this. Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you try.
No hell below us.
Above us only sky.
Imagine all the people.
Oh my god, James Marsden. You just keep staying relevant. Like, fuck, dude, you were just in Sonic. Oh my god. I mean, what the fuck is this? Like, she's like, and it goes like this. And then it's people just singing Imagine. What do you mean it goes like this? Imagine all the people, no heaven, no hell below, just above us only sky and all that. By the way, I want to talk about Ben Shapiro for a second. He did a whole video on this, and he spent the majority of the video posting an old video that he made a long time ago where he rips apart Imagine for being this morally wrong song, this communist manifesto, this just piece of garbage. And he talks about how it's the most overrated song ever and it's horrible. And don't get me wrong, I've always felt that way. I've always felt the lyrics were very overrated and shitty, although I don't think people are giving John Lennon enough credit for how clever he's being and what the song actually is. He's not saying these things literally. It's more of an analytical concept, I would say. But then he goes deeper and says the thing that I hate about the Beatles, all right, is that none of them are trained musicians, all right? And if you can't read music, you're not a musician. All right, I'm sorry. You're just not a musician if you can't read music. And then he says they have good melodies. These are one of those great hot takes from Shapiro that ever since he's become a celebrity, he's been a lot less fucking interesting over the last couple of years and says these insane things. I've always had an issue with him being so religious, but I give that a pass. And some of the other stupid shit he says. Because for the most part, you know, I enjoy my little Shapiro. I'm entertained by him. But if you don't read music, you're not a musician, which is insane and just not true. I'd say most of the greatest guitarists that have been in rock and roll can't read music. A lot of great musicians can't read music. A lot of people learn to play by ear. He's also ignoring the fact that George Martin was the one that kind of balanced that out. George Martin, as the producer, had the classical training and could read music, and that's why the Beatles were so brilliant in a way, was that they had George Martin mixing with their rough edges, that they didn't know a lot about music, but they figured out how to write songs. They taught themselves. The reason that the Beatles is so endearing, and this is all tying into the modern, like, hey, the Beatles are overrated argument, which I don't think holds up from any point of view, even if you don't like them. No, they're the most significant band in history. They can't be overrated. They had too big of an impact. And I'm not just like one of those guys like, oh, the Beatles, everything. Even though, you know, I love the Beatles. One of the things that was great about their music was that they did creative things that you wouldn't do if you were classically trained or if you could read music or you went from this way. They came up with new ways. That's why John Lennon's rhythm guitar is so interesting. His choices, the chords that he chooses, and how he puts them together is so interesting. And then they got better with time, that they did understand music more and more with each album, and they got more ambitious. I think if they had went in more trained, I think the music wouldn't be there. I think it's because they had to learn, and that they made these choices that no one else would make. So they had to become creative because they couldn't lean on their abilities. That they weren't the greatest, you know. That it wasn't the greatest drummer, bass player, and guitar player of all time. They were all good, but the fact that they actually had to find out a way to write these great songs and not lean on that, I think, is why a lot of their songs are really interesting. But granted, this is the same Ben Shapiro that said hip-hop is not a valid form of music because it doesn't have melody, and this argument was made by his father, who went to school for music, which Anthony Fantano already made fun of Ben Shapiro for saying this. Basically, getting to the point, I don't totally disagree with him on Imagine, although I think he's taking it way too literally. But the dig at the Beatles, and then just to use this whole thing to be like, yeah, you're not a musician if you can't read music. It's just one of those crazy things that Ben Shapiro says that I think he doesn't think about. Like, he could be so good when talking about politics, and then when he talks about movies or television, like he said, every Tarantino film is just a porno. It's like, what? How is Pulp Fiction a porno? I don't even get what, because of the rape scene with the gimp. Like, how is Jules and Vincent eating breakfast talking about life of pornographic? Like, he just says these insane things. I don't get it. He just comes off like a snob. Back to this. I should have just done a separate reaction, but I didn't want to sit through Ben Shapiro's like 15-minute rant on Imagine.
Living for today. Yeah.
Fucking Sarah Silverman. There are some cringe people in this, man. I hate Sarah Silverman. Yeah, I just don't get this choice. The song is so horrible. This is like the cliche, like this is the song to make people feel better song ever since it came out. Imagine is so overplayed and overused. And I don't know, why have everyone sing? You know, you could have done this, you could have done something clever like everybody gives a message, or you guys like read a speech or something like that and you each do a line from it or a poem. That would have worked a lot better. I mean, you're fucking actors, you're not singers. So perform. Or have somebody say something really, really nice that to communicate what you're going through. But I like this whole like, listen, we're all suffering like you. You know, that's the thing with the talk show hosts, all of the late night hosts doing their terrible YouTube videos basically from home, is that, hey, look, I'm on an iPhone and I have this crappy microphone. I'm just like you. I'm suffering. I don't make $20 million a year. I can't go buy an expensive camera and a good microphone. So see, I have to suffer like you. Not that any of them are funny when they have, you know, a set and writers. I mean, Trevor Noah's never funny, but you're really seeing how horrible a lot of these people are when they don't have people writing stuff for them, which is why a lot of speeches at award shows are terrible, because actors aren't interesting if they don't have stuff that was written for them. And that's the case here. These are a bunch of people that aren't actually that interesting, and they couldn't think of something creative. So Wonder Woman took it upon herself to take something from a creative person like John Lennon, who was creative and interesting, a controversial figure nowadays, but certainly an interesting person, and just taking that because they can't think of anything to do because they don't have somebody writing for them or coming up with other ideas. Once again, people, Hollywood's all the writers. That's most of the stuff that you love comes from somebody writing in a room.
Imagine there's no countries.
Who the fuck is this, like, gap-tooth motherfucker? I have no idea who that is.
It isn't hard to do.
Oh my god, Jimmy Fallon. This is like as bad as it gets. And the fact that he's doing like a Beatles impression, like, it isn't hard to do. Fuck off, Jimmy.
Nothing to kill or die for.
Oh, another cringe lord, Natalie Portman, who wore that dress that had all the female directors who didn't get nominated. I'm glad that was what's important to you, Natalie. Women getting nominated for Best Director, you know? We're all going through this crisis right now, and you were acting like that was the biggest fucking deal in the world. Is she in the woods that were in Annihilation? Oh, and you can't sing.
And no religion too.
Well, that was low effort. That's my favorite one so far. And no religion too.
Imagine all the people.
Nobody gives a shit. Quit trying to imagine all the people. This Christina Aguilera shit. Stop it. Oh my god. Kill me. I want the virus to get me. Please.
You may say that I'm a dreamer.
What the hell? Who is that? I feel like I should know who that old lady was. Oh, Amy Adams. Don't be here. Don't be here, Amy. Amy, no.
But I'm not the only one.
I hope someday.
Wouldn't mind being quarantined with Amy Adams. That'd be nice. What the fuck? What are they doing? He's just like walking in a field, like the children of the corn.
They will join us.
I would like to join you out there in LA right now. That'd be nice to be in a mansion. That'd be pretty cool. Invite me over, bro.
And the world
By the way, where's Kanye?
will live as one.
Imagine no possessions.
Oh my god, Pedro Pascal, man. The Red Viper. He's not even singing, he's just talking.
I wonder if you can.
No, I can't. I like possessions. They make me happy. I need toilet paper and food right now, and medicine.
No need for greed and hunger.
I like Will Ferrell as Eraserhead.
The hood of man.
Sharing all the world.
Once again, who the fuck is this? Am I supposed to know who this is?
You. They may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not.
No, this is like a bunch of bad social media posts. This is something that like a really cringe girl that you know would like make with their friends and put it together. These are people that are millionaires off their talent and creativity, and this is the best thing that they could fucking produce.
Not the only one.
I hope someday you'll join
I wonder if Paul Thomas Anderson's back there. That's his wife.
us.
And the world.
If you look at the fan where her ears at, it's like she has ears. She has like little like bunny ears or like deer. Like here, if that's her fan, it looks like, oh, she has little ears.
World will be as one.
Look how happy she is. Look at her with those ears. And just that big fucking smile. She's like, I did it. I've beaten the coronavirus. Take that, motherfucker. We've united the world. Thank you. The song written by a guy who beat his wife. The Song of Peace from John fucking Lennon. This song's horrible. It's fucking terrible. It's communist, alright? It's just a morally wrong song, alright? Don't tell people there's no heaven, alright? That's really important right now. Heaven really matters to everyone right now. People need a heaven to believe in, okay? John Lennon was trash, alright? I only like classical music, alright? Classical music's the only form of music that's valid, alright? Beatles are overrated. They're not good, alright? The only thing worse than the Beatles are these celebrities singing. They're singing the worst song of all time, alright? Alright, you're not fighting the coronavirus. That's ridiculous. What to say about this that hasn't been said? I mean, it's cringe, it's horrible, it's lame, it's in poor taste, it's... I mean, it's vacuous, you know, it's everything you can say, but I think the real message here is that for the last several years, we've been feeling this divide between what stars and celebrities used to be to us in Hollywood in general, because everything's become normalized through social media to where we're like, wow, a lot of these people are fucking idiots. You know, Robert Downey Jr. said it once on Howard Stern. He said there's a lot of dumb people in the world, and some of them happen to be actors, which is very true. And I think that's all it is. We're just finding out that these people aren't geniuses because they have that old argument, creative genius. You're an artistic genius, which I always think is bullshit because I think people conflate that with intelligence, being creative, being a creative genius, if you will. I don't think there's actually a lot of real geniuses working in the industry. But because of this now, because everything's shut down, and we don't have movies, and we don't have things to go do, we don't have concerts to go to, they've never felt closer to us than ever. I mean, all of us are probably sitting thinking the same thing. Do movies fucking matter? Does any of this shit fucking matter? I just want to fucking survive this and go back to work. And so none of this matters. So they're, for the first time in a long time, I think they're feeling it where they can't live in a bubble. They have to be like, oh shit, nobody cares about what I'm doing right now. Nobody cares. And my movie's not coming out. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984, that might not come out until next year. They might push it back. And this is burning into a lot of their heads. Like, wow, this whole thing with my wealth, my material objects, my fame, my image, none of it really matters right now. Nobody really cares. And even if all of that comes back, I think it's all going to be diluted because of this. And so now this is no different from a group of your friends on social media posting something really cringy. Now it's famous people doing it. And there's something really beautiful about that everybody's sort of on the same level right now. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but I hope someday that we all join together and stop letting celebrities get away with stuff like this. This is just everything wrong. This is the ego, narcissism, everything kicking in. But what do I know? I just like the Beatles, and apparently they're not musicians. So